One of the questions I hear a lot from authors is, how do you actually keep track of everything? And it's a fair question because once you're writing books and trying to manage newsletters and launches and promotions and reader growth, it can start to feel like there are a lot of moving parts because there are. So in this video, I want to show you how I organize my author business in a way that keeps things simple and manageable. So for a long time, I felt like everything was super scattered. I was trying to keep everything in my head. I had notes in different places, ideas in different documents, spreadsheets for some things, and then I was just trying to remember everything else. And it always felt like I was forgetting something or falling behind on something. And I think a lot of authors experience this because we're trying to manage a business without any kind of clear system. And the author life feels chaotic. So what changed things for me was when I stopped trying to manage everything in separate places, and I started thinking about how to organize my author business as a whole. So instead of just doing marketing or writing tasks randomly, I started building systems and putting everything into one place where I could actually see what was going on with one click. So now, instead of everything being scattered, I organize my author business into a few key areas. And we'll go over those. So quickly, the key areas are my writing. Of course, that's typically priority number one for me, unless I'm in the middle of a new release marketing campaign. So then it would be my book launches, which is probably the best thing to have organized as an author. My newsletter and reader communication systems, that's also super organized, and all my emails are ready to go prior to the beginning of every month. My reader growth, you definitely need a system around this if you want to make a profit. My content or visibility, again, this is something that helps move the needle on sales when done consistently. And my weekly workflow. So this is all the repeatable tasks that need to be done each week or each month or even each quarter or every year. So everything I do fits into one of those areas, which makes it much easier to manage. So let's get into it. For book launches, I keep a simple structure of what I do before a launch, like before I even finish writing the book, what I do during launch week, of course, and then the often overlooked after the launch opportunities that are available. And that's all after the official launch week. Launch plans still continue for me after that. This way, every time I have a new book release on my calendar, I'm not starting from scratch. I just follow the system that I already created. And I have to say, this is my favorite system because it was a real game changer for me to put this together. For my newsletter and reader communication, I also think in terms of a system instead of sending random emails. So before the beginning of every month, I already know what I'm sending, and it's scheduled and it's off my mind. Throughout the month, I keep an eye on open rates, and I keep an eye on what links are being clicked. And because stats like that, they impact what I'm sending next. So talking more about statistics, for reader growth, I focus on how new readers are finding me and how they move into my newsletter or my books. Because like I said, without readers, we can't make sales. So reader growth is extremely important to stay on top of. And I want to know what reader magnets are the most popular and which ones are simply not working. And I can make changes and keep things consistent instead of relying on random discovery, which never works. And then for my workflow, everything is kept super simple so that it's easily repeatable. So because of this, I have a general structure for how I spend my time. Writing, newsletters, planning, promotion, all of that. Instead of wondering what to do each week, I have a system for it. And the reason all of this works is because everything is connected and simplified. So I'm not trying to remember everything, and I'm certainly not trying to reinvent anything. I'm just following systems that I've already built, and of course, I'm improving them over time. And I'm sure you can guess that this is what led me to build the Author Command Center. It's one place where all of these systems live together. So instead of being scattered across spreadsheets and notes and documents, everything in my world is organized in a way that actually makes sense and more profit for my author business. So if your author business feels totally scattered or overwhelming right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong. Maybe you just need a way to organize everything so that it's easier to manage. I love thinking about it this way. Writing is creative, right? So there are systems in place for my writing too, but I really lean more into letting my imagination be in charge with my actual writing. But my author business, that's different. It has to be organized if you want to actually make a profit.